Sabhaya Namaha. Whatever happens in the world, whether it may be good or bad, there is only one reason. It is called mind. According to the instructions of mind, if he who does, definitely it will be bad than good. Mind should not control us. We should control the mind. Unless we control the mind, our life is disturbed like anything. Moreover, we people do not know what is mind, how many types of minds, what are the things are the root cause for the good or bad of the mind. If we know not about others, about our mind, definitely we will try to control the mind. Today is the topic, what is mind? Let us start with prayer. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. He who knows the respectable verily becomes the respectable of his people. Mind is verily the respectable of all our knowledge. It says in Chandogya Upanishad, that which separates you from God is mind. The wall that stands between you and God is mind. Pull the wall down through Omkara Chintana or devotion, and you will come face to face with God. The mind is a mystery. A vast majority of men know not the existence of the mind and its operations. Even though so-called educated persons know very little of the mind subjectively or of its nature and operations. Even they have only heard of the mind. Western psychologists know something better than us. Western doctors know only a fragment of mind. The afferent nerves bring the sensation from the periphery or extremities of the spinal cord. The sensations then pass to the medulla oblongata at the back of the head, where the fibers decussate. From there, they on to the superior frontal gyrus or superior. Frontal convolution of the brain is forehead, the supposed seat of the intellect or mind. The mind feels it the sensations and sends motor impulses through the afferent nerves to the extremities, mean hands, legs, etc. It is a brain function only for them, but mind, according to them, is only the excretion of the brain, like a bile from liver. The doctors are still groping in utter darkness, their minds head drastically flushing for the entry of Hindu philosophical ideas. Mind is one of the Ashtaprakritis. What are the Ashtaprakritis? Earth, water, fire, air, sky, mind, reason, and egoism. Sanskrit is called Prithvi, Apaha, Tejaha, Akasaha, Vayuhu, Manaha, Buddhi, Ahankaraha. These constitute the eightfold division of one's nature. Mind is nothing but Atma Shakti. It is brain that wants rest, but not the mind. A yogi who has controlled the mind never sleeps. He gets pure rest from the meditation itself. Let us see how the mind is originated. Mind is already said Atma Shakti. It is through mind the Brahman manifests himself as a differentiated universe with heterogeneous objects. Brahma thought, there indeed are the worlds. I shall create the protectors of the world on the superior way. He gathered the Purusha from out of the waters only and fashioned him. He heated him by the heat of meditation. When he comes thus heated by his heart burst out. From this heart the mind came. From the mind the moon, presiding deity of the mind. Cosmic mind and individual mind. See the difference. Hiranyagarbha, otherwise known as Karya Brahman and Sambhuti, is cosmic mind. He is the sum total of all the minds. The individual mind is connected with the cosmic mind. Cosmic mind, Hiranyagarbha, superconscious mind, infinite mind, universal minds are synonymous terms. Different authors have used different terms. Do not be puzzled, confused. Do not get confused yourself. It is Shabda Beda only. The mind, being very subtle, is in a close opposition or contact with other minds, though the human skull intervenes between them. As mind evolves, you come into conscious relation with the mental currents, with the minds of others near and distant, living and the dead. The individual mind of A, although separated from the mind substance used by the individuals B, C, D, E, X, Y, Z, etc., by a thin wall of very finest kind of matter, is really in touch with other apparently separated minds and with the universal mind of which it forms a part. Mind in Sankhya philosophy. In Sankhya philosophy, Mahat is a term used to denote cosmic mind or universal mind. It is the first principle that is derived from Avyakta. It is the first principle that is manifested out of the unmanifested Avyakta. The wheel of the bullock cart rests on the spokes. The spokes rest on the nave. Even so, the mind rests on Prakriti and Prakriti rests on Brahman. From Mahat comes Ahankara. From Sattvic Ahankara comes mind. From Rajasic Ahankara comes Prana. From Tamasic Ahankara, Tanmatras. From Tanmatras, gross elements. From gross elements, the gross universe. Mind is no other than Ahankara, the idea of I. It is indeed difficult to eschew this idea of I. Mind always attaches itself to the something objective. It cannot stand by itself. It is only this mind that asserts itself as I in this body. I means Ahankara. The idea of I is the seed of the tree of mind. The sprout which first springs up from this seed of Ahankara is Buddhi. From this sprout, the ramifying branches called Sankalpas have their origin. Mind is subtle matter. Mind is not a gross thing, visible and tangible. Its existence is nowhere seen. Its magnitude cannot be measured. It does not require space in which to exist. Mind and matter are two aspects as subject and object of one and the same all full Brahman, who is neither and yet includes both. Mind precedes matter. This is Vedantic theory. Matter precedes mind. This is scientific theory. See different Vedanta and time. Mind precedes matter is Vedanta. Matter precedes mind is scientific theory. Mind is material. Mind is subtle matter. This discrimination is made on the principle that the soul is the only source of our intelligence. It is self-evident. It shines by its own light. But the organs, mind and senses, derive their principles of activity and life from the soul. By themselves they are lifeless. Hence the soul is always a subject and never an object. Manas can be an object of the soul, and it is a cardinal principle of Vedanta that which is an object for a subject is non-intelligent, means jada. Even the principle of self-consciousness or ahankara is non-intelligent. It does not exist by its own light. It is object of perception to the soul. Mind is all electricity. According to the Chandogya Upanishad, mind is formed out of the subtlest portion of the food. The mental body. Just as a physical body is composed of solid, liquid and gaseous matter, so also the mind is made of subtle matter of various grades of density with different rates of vibrations. A Raja Yogi penetrates through different layers of mind by intense sadhana, practice. The mental body varies much in different people. It is composed of coarse or finer matter according to the needs of more or less unfolded consciousness connected with it. In the educator, it is active and well defined. In the undeveloped, it is cloudy and ill defined. There are several zones for slices in the mental body, just as there are various compartments in the brain for particular types of thought. During intense anger, the whole mind is suffused with the black hue of malice and ill will, which expresses itself in coils of thunderous blackness, from which fury arrows of anger dart forth, seeking to injure the one for which anger is felt. Let us know the types of mind. Every man has a mental world of his own. Every man entirely differs from another man's mode of thinking, temperament, taste, mentality, physical characteristics, etc. Physically, also a man differs from another man. Although there might be slight resemblances, observe carefully the nose, the ear, the lips, the eyes, eyebrows, the arrangement of teeth, the shoulders, hand, fingers, toes, look, voice, gait of talking, etc. of different men. You will find vast differences between any two persons. Even the lines of the palm will differ. No two leaves are alike. Variety is the beauty of creation. There are various types of mind. The Bengali type of mind is emotional and fit for devotion and art. The Madrasi, Chennai type of the mind is intellectual and clever in mathematics. You see, most of the mathematicians from Chennai, Tamil Nadu. The Punjabi type of mind and Maharashtra type of mind are chivalrous, gentle. Bengal has produced emotional saints Lord Gauranga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Vivekananda, etc. Even Rabindranath Tagore. Madras has produced intellectual philosophers like Sri Shankara, Ramanujacharya, and so on. Punjab has produced Guru Nanak, Guru Gobind Singh, etc. The sadhana and path of yoga vary according to the type of mind, temperament, and capacity. Tastes also differ. The sight of the fish brings excessive joy to a Bengali. But same, the sight of tamarind and chilies excites glossopharyngeal of a Madrasi. Glossopharyngeal mean జిహ్వాగ్రసని తండ్రిగా నోట్లో నోరు ఊరుతుంది అంటే మద్రాసీ పీపుల్ ఆర్ ఇంట్రెస్టెడ్ మచ్ సాంబార్. ద సైట్ ఆఫ్ ది Palmyra fruit excites the Jaffna Tamil of Ceylon and brings excessive joy. The sight of the meat brings a peculiar joy to a meat eater. Mind is very mysterious. So is Maya too. Even an infinitely superior mind is yet to understand of the same mold as any man's. Now, size of the mental body. Mind is atomic, mean Anu, according to the Nyaya school, is all pervading. They called Vibhu, according to Raja Yoga school of Maharshi Patanjali. Is of the middle size according to the Vedantic school. Mental aura. Mind has got aura. Aura mean mental aura or psychic aura. Aura is the tejas, brilliance or halo that emanates from the mind. The aura of those who have developed their minds is extremely effulgent. It can travel long distance and affect in a beneficial manner a large number of persons who come under its influence. The spiritual aura is more powerful than either psychic or pranic aura. Influence of strong mind over weak mind. A strong mind has influence over weak minds, this is natural. A hypotonist with a strong mind hypnotizes a whole bunch or circle of boys of weak minds only. There are these among us who name such are more sensitively organized than others. As an organism, their bodies are finely and more sensitively constructed. These, generally speaking, are people who are always more or less affected by the mentalities of others with whom they come in contact, in whose company they are. He who purifies his mind becomes a center of force. All the lesser, impure, weak minds are unconsciously drawn towards the purified greater mind because they derive peace, power, and strength from the greater purified mind. Mind is ever changing, not constant meaning. Mind is nothing but a collection of samskaras. It is nothing but a bundle of habits. It is nothing but a collection of desires arising from contact with different objects. It is also a collection of feelings aroused by worldly botherations. It is a collection of ideas gathered from different tops. Now these desires, ideas and feelings constantly change. Some of the old desires and feelings are constantly departing from their storehouse, the mind, and new ones are replacing them. Function of mind. Sensation, thought, and volition are the threefold functions of the mind. Cognition, desire, volition are the three mental processes. Mind has three states: active, passive, and neutral. Mind always wants variety and new sensations. It is disgusted with monotony. Law of association, law of continuity, and law of relativity are the three principal laws of the mind. These are characteristics of the mind. For example, change means parinama, activity means chesta, suppression means nirodha, Ideation in action means Shakti, and physical life, Jivana, and characterization, Dharma. Thinking, planning, feeling, knowing are the various activities that are going on the mind. Sometimes you plan, sometimes you feel, sometimes you try to know, sometimes you think seriously, sometimes you will volition. Volition brings all the mental faculties into play. You must be able to know by introspection what exactly is going on at different times in the mind. Mind selects, attends, and also rejects. Aspects of mind: conscious mind or objective mind, subconscious mind or subjective mind. Subjective mind is called chitta, and superconscious mind are three aspects of mind. You see here and read with the objective mind. Sensational mind, rational mind, and intuitive mind are three aspects of mind according to another classification of Western philosophers. Heart is the seat of four tattvas: prana, mind, ahankara, and atman. According to Vedanta, the seat of the mind is the heart. Ajna Chakra, which consists of the two lotuses and which is tentatively situated in the space between the two eyebrows, in the seat of the mind, according to the Hatha Yoga school. Seat of mind. Mind has various faculties and centers and operates through corresponding physical centers in the brain. Mind, buddhi, and understanding are in the linga sarira, but they operate through corresponding centers in the physical brain. The brain is not mind as the Westerns think. Mind has its seat in the physical brain. It gains experiences of this physical universe through the vibrations of the brain. A king, though he has complete sway over his old territory, though the whole kingdom belongs to him, has got special places for his residence. He has got a splendid place in the capital and another beautiful palatial building in Mussoorie or Mount Abu for his stay in summer. Even though the mind, so it is all pervading throughout the body, has got three places to reside in during the three states: Jagrat, Swapna, and Sushupti. This goes to show that seat of the mind is the Ajna Chakra. Mind is not at Atman. See, in the West, the psychologists make a serious mistake in the saying that consciousness is a function and attribution of the mind. It is a Chit or Atman only, that is pure consciousness itself. Mind borrows its light itself from time to time from its source of Atman. The light of lights are the sons of suns, and glitters temporarily like consciousness, like the golden gilt in brass. Mind borrows its light and power from Brahman, the source, just as the iron rod borrows its heat and effulgence from the fire. Mind can do only one thing at a time. It is finite, parichinna. It is jada. It is the effect of sattva guna, karya. It is a vinasi, perishable. It is chanchala, ever fluctuating. It is a bundle of ideas, samskaras, habits, impulses, and emotions. It borrows light from the Adhisthana Brahman. You can control the mind. The thinker is different from thought. There is no functioning of the mind in deep sleep. You always say, my mind, as if mind is one of your instrument, just like your walking stick or an umbrella. Therefore, mind is not the self-shining Atman. Mind is different from I. Mind gropes in darkness. It forgets every moment. It is changing every school. Its food is withdrawn for a couple of days, it cannot think properly. There is no functioning of the mind during the sleep, especially in deep sleep. It is full of impurities, vasanas and trishnas, mean clearings. It gets puzzled during anger. In fear, it trembles. In a shock, it sings. Mind is an organ of sensation and thought. This instrument must be under the control of someone who uses it. The Java or Jiva or human soul is not the direct of the mind, because we see that ordinary men cannot control their minds. I is an example. Even Ishvara or Saguna Brahman, means personal God has full consciousness of Nigama Brahman. That is his Swarupa Lakshana. At the same time, he has a full cosmic consciousness. He knows what is going on in every mind. Absolute consciousness is common in all. This pure consciousness is one. It is called Kutastha Chaitanya. All the workings of the mind, all the modification of that arise in the minds of all are presented to the one common consciousness, which is the witness of the mental vrittis, the manasika pravruttayaha. Even though consciousness is one, when Rama is stung by a scorpion, only Rama feels and not his brother Lakshmana, who is standing nearby him. Antakarana, mind is different in every individual. It is Antakarana that limits a man who is in reality identical with the Brahman or Supreme Soul. This identity is realized when the avarana or veil of ignorance is removed. Atman, the source for the mind. Manas, which expands through sankalpas and vikalpas, is generated with Brahman as its cause. The form which endless Atman assumes through sankalpa in mana, it first turns its back to the discrimination and hence entangled itself in the folds of vasanas, of objects. The underlying substratum, means surface, adhisthana of the mind, the source or base for mind is Atman or Brahman or absolute consciousness, the power of the powers, who gives power to the mind, the light of lights, who sheds light on the mind, the seer of seers, who witness the motives of and moments in the world, in the mind. Support of the supporters on which the mind suggests in sleep is Brahman. During dream, your splendid effulgent light, where doesn't come from? From Atman. The light that is present in the dream early indicates that Atman is self-luminous. God is truth, God is love, God is light of lights, God is peace, God is knowledge, God is embodiment of this, God is such Chit, Ananda, existing absolute, knowledge, absolute and bliss absolute. God is eternity, God is immortality, God is infinity, God is Avinashi, supreme Vastu. God is all-pervading essence or substance. God is the only Saravastu. God is infinite beauty. The essence of Indriyas is the mind. The essence of mind is Buddhis. The essence of the Buddhi is Ahankara. He is the Shakti or he is the Sakshi or witness of everything. So, I think through this video, now we might have understood various strategies of minds, how we control them or it control us. It depends upon each and everyone's goals or aims to control and bring into peace of life. श्रीयकांताय कल्याणनिधे निधेतनां श्रीवेंकटनिवासाय श्रीनिवासाय मंगलमंगलासासनपरिमदाचार्य पुरकुमे सर्वैश्च पूर्वैराचार्य सत्कृतायास्तु मंगलम्.